couple of weeks ago, Penny Starr, who's one of our reporters, has an interest in art and enjoys visiting the Smithsonian, came into the office one day and she said, I went and saw this exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery. I think there's a story there. She was right. It was news. But the interesting thing was we weren't the first news organization that took a look at it. It turns out that this particular exhibit, which was promoted as the first ever history of gay portraiture in the United States, which was presented at the federally funded National Portrait Gallery, part of the Smithsonian Institution, had been covered by the Los Angeles Times, had been covered by the Washington Post, had been covered by the New York Times, and had been covered by the National Public Radio. Interesting thing is, however, there are certain artworks or so-called artworks in this exhibit that those news organizations forgot to tell their readers about. This is what Penny saw, what Penny noticed, and what Penny reported. In this exhibit, in this federally funded museum that gets $5.8 million per year of our tax dollars, was a video that showed ants crawling over the image of Jesus Christ. In the same exact video, they also showed a bloody mouth of a man being sewn shut and a full frontal image of a man, including his genitals. Another image in this exhibit was two blood brothers kissing one another while one held a gun to the other's chest. So what did we do when Penny found this stuff out? She very carefully and systematically put together a factual report about what it was that the federally funded National Portrait Gallery was actually putting on exhibit during this Christmas season. She went down to the museum, she got photographs of these things so people could see with themselves and judge with their own eyes whether this was appropriate for a federally funded museum. She talked to the people who put the exhibition together. She got statements from the management of the Smithsonian and the National Portrait Gallery, and she put together a factual and objective report on what was really there so people could judge for themselves, in fact, what this federally funded museum had done. We also pointed out that $5.8 million in taxpayer funds each year goes to support the National Portrait Gallery. And we put this out, and as soon as it went up, Matt Drudge put it at the top of his Drudge report. Other news organizations picked it up. Mark Levin talked about it that evening on his radio station, and by the next day, John Boehner, the soon-to-be Speaker of the House, and Eric Cantor, the soon-to-be House Majority Leader, were calling on the museum to cancel this exhibit. Less than 24 hours after we first posted our report, the director of the National Portrait Gallery removed the video that showed the images of ants crawling over Jesus Christ. They left the other images there, and they're still there. But they took that down less than 24 hours after our report. And now, you have much of the national establishment liberal media talking about and showing these images that weren't talked about in those original reports.
I have an idea. Let's put them on national television right now. John, CNN has been there. CNN has looked at this. CNN has taped it. Put it on the air right now.
We have put some of the images on during the conversation.
The ones I just mentioned, put it on the air. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Right.
Put on the air the ones I just mentioned that are hanging right now. No.
We've pixelated the bottom.
Take that pixelation.
We're not going to do that.
Now wait a minute. Now why aren't you going to do it?
Because it would be objectionable to some people, and I can't control children, including my own, being in a room, and they should not see that. We can have the bigger
debate. To the point
debate.
of children. You know what November 21st was? Family and Friends Day for Heights sake. They had a day for children to come to this.
Did they force the children to come in? Did they force the parents to bring the children?
They invited children to come to that.
There are stories every day like this that can be broken in Washington, D.C. I wish we had more resources so we could break more of them.